This is big breaking news. Top government officials from both sides of the aisle are coming out and warning us of something catastrophic that could happen very soon. And when something like this happens, when they come out in unison like this, we need to be prepared because they are planning, they are scheming, and something is going on. And we know that big things are happening with the banks right now. They're trying to collapse the banks, but they are also trying to collapse our grid and our infrastructure as well. And we are getting a massive warning from top government officials. And it's just a major red flag because they are up to something. They are even trying to create a new government agency and everything. All right. So this is a very big deal. And we know what happens when they create new government agencies. Look at what happened with the NSA. The NSA was supposed to protect us and keep us safe, and it is used to spy on American citizens domestically. We know this. This was released years ago, right? And these things are only going to get a lot worse, and they're warning of catastrophic events that could happen very soon. All right. So you need to get prepared. You need to get stuff like this. You need to get seeds. All right. These are big beef hybrid seeds right there. See my profile picture down there. See me holding that big old juicy tomato. That is a beefsteak tomato. That is a big beef tomato. And hit that sub while you're down there too. While you're looking at it, hit that sub really quick for me. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that like while you're down there too. But stock up on this stuff. Get out the city. All right, they're warning us, guys. Stock up. I just got a bunch of seeds in the mail just yesterday, and I'm getting worried. We are even going to get an off-grid property and start our own off-grid homestead on there because what we're doing now, it's not working. We want to have our own property, our own land. We can't grow this giant bag of seeds here, but I can on my own property. So we are trying to hightail it out of here. We want to get as off-grid as possible because these warnings keep happening over and over. I'll give you guys some more details. I'll talk about that more at the end of the video. But I just wanted to remind everyone, you need to be prepared. You need to be stocked up because top officials just keep coming out and telling us, hey, this is coming. And we know that they all go to these clubs, they all go to these meetings, they all meet in secret locations. They do very weird things, all right? We've even seen the Alex Jones videos of Bohemian Grove, all right? Very, very strange things happen inside our government and with our world leaders on both sides of the aisles. They both go to these things. They both go to the World Economic Forum. They both go to the World Government Summit. They all go to these places, and they're both coming out both sides and saying that this is a major threat that could happen. So we need to be prepared when they warn us like this. And they're getting us ready for a major collapse and a new system. They want to implement a digital global currency to track and trace everyone on Earth. All right, that's the plan, and they're moving us towards it very swiftly. So let's get into what these senators are warning. Top senators are warning of a massive cyber attack on the grid that could wipe out the grid and cause devastation. All right, and these are Democrat and Republican senators are both coming out at the same time and warning this. We will get to exactly what they said. But this was also a congressional report posted in 2017. All right, I've brought this up 100 times, but it's so critical because they don't just operate in, oh, they said this last month. These plans are decades long plans, and we're getting very close to 2030, and that is one of their main goals, their main goalposts that they have to implement a lot of these agendas. So that's why all of these things have been coming out over the years. But now we are in an accelerated period where they are revealing a revelation, if you could say, of all this information. It's all being revealed to us very rapidly now, all right? But they even warned us in 2017, congressional report, a North Korean EMP attack would wipe out 90% of all Americans. Congress made a whole report, wrote it up, everything, and submitted it. It's on the record saying 90% of Americans would not make it. That's why I was saying get these seeds, get these now. But they said 90% of people won't make it because the supply chains will shut down. The energy grid will shut down. Everything will shut down and most people will not be able to survive. And they're saying 90% of people will not make it within the first year. Within 1 year, 90% of people will not make it. And this is what Congress is telling us. This is insane. And now they're giving us another major warning saying that a massive cyber attack could hit our electric grid very soon. And they want to blame it on Russia and China. And these countries, they have high cyber capabilities, but they are also the scapegoat for the agendas that want to be implemented as well. This is a very dangerous situation. And these senators are even trying to establish a new government organization like the NSA to watch over the grid. Apparently, they're going to keep the grid safe. They're not going to hack into the grid or cyber attack it or anything themselves like the NSA does. Cyber attacks and hacks American citizens. It won't do that. Don't worry. So there's no problems when they both come out, both sides of the aisle. So you can see here, and there's more banking news that is big breaking news too. We're going to get to in just a minute. So stick with me here. But you can see here, Joe Manchin, a Democrat from West Virginia, is coming out and saying, quote, he assessed China as the broadest and most active cyber threat to the U.S. government and private sector networks, and identified Russia as, quote, the top cyber threat that is specifically focusing on targeting our critical infrastructure. And even a Republican senator is coming out and saying the same exact thing at the same exact time, and they are coming together and trying to form this new government agency as well. This is very suspicious, very strange, and they're getting us ready for something big to happen to our energy grid. This Republican senator came out and said, quote, Russian cyber attacks are, quote, an immediate threat to the American energy sector, and said Russian connected hackers attempted to take almost a dozen American power plants and natural gas sites offline last year. He also said that China, quote, poses the greatest long-term cyber threat to the American critical energy infrastructure, and that China has been targeting American pipeline control systems for more than a decade to gain a foothold with vital networks for potential exploitation and future operations. So they are getting us ready for something, and these threats are increasing. These cyber attacks are increasing constantly. If you've watched my channel, they are unleashing the cyber attacks. They are unleashing the AI, and they are also using the AI to write very high level code and very high level languages that are very hard to crack and decipher and to get past. All right. So they're unleashing all of these weapons on us at once, all these tools. Even Elon Musk and Steve Wozniak, all right, they came out, and a bunch of people, a bunch of top engineers and thought leaders, people like that, they came out and said that AI should be paused because it is so dangerous to humanity and it is being unleashed on humanity right now. And this is one of the biggest threats that nobody's talking about. I made a whole video on it last month, how AI could be used, and top experts are warning about this, but they are not getting any coverage, and it could be used to write this very advanced code. Software engineers are already using this AI to figure out holes in their code and to figure out systems inside of their code and to write whole video games and things like that. People are even using AI too, right? So this is very advanced. And think about if somebody knew how to trigger the AI to write very advanced malicious code on very advanced language, coding language that nobody can break into. They would have to use a different AI to break into it. You know what I mean? We're getting into this weird phase where they're unleashing this dystopian technology on us. And I was even reading an article just from a couple days ago. All right. I forgot to put it on here. I was going to, but I forgot to. How the police are now even using brain scanning techniques. All right. And the government is even using brain scanning techniques. They're working on brain scanning to essentially have like next level lie detection or thought detection or pre-crime detection. Oh, you're thinking about a crime. You're thinking about doing something. You're thinking about being bad. And it's their AI that's able to read the brainwaves. It's so advanced it can map out specific brainwave patterns to specific thoughts. All right. So it's like, oh, most of the time when this brainwave pattern happens, somebody's thinking about ice cream. This person's thinking about ice cream every time this brainwave pattern happens. And then they just use that information to figure out your thoughts. All right. And it's very dangerous. And it's also not even accurate. It could be completely wrong. And the AI tells them, and you're just guilty because the AI said so. We're moving into AI judges, all this stuff. But one of the biggest threats is these AI cyber attacks that we could see on our grid. And they are unleashing this on the public. We are getting to a point where some random person, I mean, look at what's been happening recently. These psyops are constantly bombarding the public, and there could be somebody that is disenchanted and they use this AI to write some super advanced code to take down the grid. All right. So these are real threats, and they're even trying to make a new government agency to watch over the entire grid as well, to have a federal control over the grid, because right now the grid is mostly decentralized. There's thousands of substations throughout the country and hundreds of electric companies and subcontractors all throughout the country. And they want to have a federalized form of the grid, and they're pushing this right now with this new agency. So here's the quote from Manchin as well, saying, quote, "The ETAC will serve as the energy sector's centralized hub in the federal government for cyber information sharing and threat response. And DOE will be able to better defend the United States energy sector against cyber threats and inform the industry of actionable steps they can take with their threat response. Quote, the creation of the center is critical to the energy security of our nation." So this is just a major red flag. All right. I understand this is a real problem, but having a federalized control of this just opens it up for more issues. What happens when this federalized agency is cyber attacked or taken down or taken offline, and then it affects the entire grid? And also what happens when there's backdoors and rogue actors, and these agencies are set up to have all these backdoors in it, like the NSA is. It's meant to protect us, quote unquote, just like the Patriot Act. That's why I have this TikTok bill here too. This TikTok bill is being presented as, oh, it's a national security threat, TikTok. And TikTok does splash you with brainwashing nonsense, but so does every social media. You have to find it, you have to really dig to find the good stuff on social media. Every app is like this, but TikTok is owned not by the US government, all right? It's not owned by the NSA. It's owned by China. So they're using it as an excuse to have even more national security states. So now there's even more surveillance, so they can tell if you're using TikTok, because they need to be able to know if you're using TikTok. So they're going to try to ban it. And then there's all these back doors in the law and loopholes that allow them to access your device to make sure you're not using TikTok. And if you're using it illegally, you're using a VPN or something, and they find you, then they are going to enforce penalties on you, fine you, and even potentially stronger penalties. All right. We know where this can go. So that's why it's extremely concerning that both sides of the aisle are coming out and endorsing this, quote, ETAC, this new government agency. And they're even saying the creation of the center is critical to the energy security of our nation. I'm sure they said the same thing for the NSA, all these different agencies. And now they want to have even more control with this TikTok bill and have all of these backdoors to make sure you're not using TikTok. That's going to be the excuse. We're going to make sure you're not using the spy app, because you could be a spy. All right, you're using this app. This is a spy app, so maybe you're a spy. And they also want to have these backdoors in so they can potentially cause the switch as well. All right, we know there are things like internet kill switches that were implemented over a decade ago. This is completely true that kill switches were implemented. This was in the Obama administration over a decade ago. And they want to have kill switches in all the phones as well. They want to have a kill switch over the grid. They want to have a kill switch on everything so they can flip the switch and implement their agenda. Because what did Klaus Schwab say last year? All right, he said the past few years will look like a minor inconvenience to the cyber pandemic that is coming. That is huge that he is warning of that. And it's true. This is going to be the big thing that resets our society. All these other things are very important, but this is like the switch that resets everything. It resets the grid, resets the banking, and it also ties into this. All right, remember this little article here? 90% of all Americans. We know that there is a depopulation agenda as well at the highest levels. Even people like Klaus Schwab saying that they want to depopulate the earth. There's too many people. There's too many people using too many resources, and we need to get rid of them. And they want to decide who they get rid of with these switches. They want to have switches on the internet, on our phones, on the grid, on the supply chain. Everything that's critical, they want to be able to target it and turn it off in an instant. And even the head of the Bank of England is warning this as well. They are warning of massive cyber attacks on the banks and saying that they want to crack down on the banks because cyber attacks are getting so bad. They want things to get so bad that you have to have a digital currency. You have to have it backed by the government. You have to have everything tracked and traced. We could see a cyber attack event where all of the money is wiped out. All the accounts are wiped out. We could see an event like that. They are preparing us for it, and they're constantly warning us. And now the head of the Bank of England is telling banks to get ready for a massive cyber attack that could bring down the system. So they are preparing us for something big. They are getting us ready for something big, and they want to implement these digital currencies. Britain already has this plan from the Bank of England. What do you know? Same bank that's warning of all these cyber attacks that could wipe out the banking system. Just a few months ago, they put out this plan to limit your bank accounts, your digital pound bank accounts. They want you to have a whole separate bank account just explicitly for digital money. That's how they're going to set this up. That's how they're going to force you into it. And they're going to make you transfer all your money into this digital account eventually. And they can also program it to expire. All right, look at what is happening in China. This was an article out of China a couple months ago, and it says their digital yuan, they can program it to expire if it's not used in a certain time frame. This is all about control and manipulation. They want to cap how much money is in your bank account. They want to cap when you can spend it. Oh, it's been a month. You got to spend your money. This is absolutely insane. And they are creating problems. And then the reaction is people want the government to do something. The reaction is always, we need more government to do something. And I don't believe in that solution, but that's always the reaction that people want is, oh, the government needs, and we just fall right into their trap. We fall right in their trap. And then they implement a digital currency. They're like, fine, the way we're going to stop these bank runs, the way we're going to stop these bank collapse, the way we're going to stop inflation, all this stuff, stop these cyber attacks, you can only have 20,000 pounds in your account, and it's all digital and it's tracked by the government. And if it gets wiped out, we will back it up. We will back it up for you because it's digital and you just bank directly with the government, and there's caps on everything. What else did Klaus Schwab say? You will own nothing and you will be happy. I mean, $20,000 is not enough to buy a house or buy anything significant. They want you to be in debt. They want you to be enslaved. They want you to be renting. They want you to just be trapped in this system forever where they own all the assets. They control everything. It's all about control. And then you are just lucky enough to get a pittance from them. All right. You are lucky if you get some breadcrumbs from your globalist masters. All right. That's what it's going to be like. And that's what they are setting us up for right now. This is why you need to get out of the cities. I'm telling you guys, we are working on getting our own land right now. We are working on being completely off grid. We're trying to find land that we can just be off grid on, we can build on. Let me know down below if you did something similar to that, where you just got your own land, you built your own property, and you just built it over time. You did it yourself. Let me know if you did something similar to that. We're looking into projects like that because things are getting so bad. All right. Things are collapsing and you need to be in a safe location. And we just want to be somewhere where we don't have to pay a monthly mortgage or anything like that because things are getting bad. The financial system is collapsing. I mean, look at this. Look at all these layoffs. Thousands of layoffs at all these major companies. Things are collapsing. All right, 780 at EA, 200 at Roku, 2,200 at Indeed, 7,000 at Disney. And this is just one day. This is just a blip. If you've been following my channel, every couple weeks there's mass layoffs at all these top companies. Tens of thousands of people are being removed. And you never know. All right, the economy is moving into a very bad situation. If we lose our dollar reserve status, then we could experience hyperinflation. We could experience Great Depression levels of poverty and hardships in our country. And you don't want to be experiencing that, all right? You don't want to have a massive mortgage. You don't want to have massive obligations. You never know. Like your job could be next laying off. You never know. This, and they're doing this on purpose. They're collapsing the system on purpose. They want to implement a Great Depression. But your best case scenario is to be self-sustainable, is to not have a lot of bills, is to be able to grow your own food, to have animals, to have chickens, have goats, have cows, have all of these self-sustainable things that are going to keep you alive, because we are getting to that point, guys. It's getting a lot closer. I've been making videos about this stuff. I've been making videos for years, but I've been talking about this stuff for over a year now, and just seeing the progression of how much worse it is. It is a lot worse, and my radar is buzzing every single day. I'm on high alert every day that I need to do something different, and I need to be even more prepared, more sustainable, and more on top of things, because the collapse is happening very soon. I thought that we would have more time on this banking collapse, but it's accelerating. All right. And now top senators are even warning of a massive grid collapse as well. We are getting cyber attack warnings constantly. We were not getting these a year ago. We were not getting these cyber attack warnings every single day, every single week from top government officials. We were not getting this a year ago, and now it's a lot worse. All right. So you need to get out of the cities. You need to get on your own land. You need to be able to grow food. All right. I haven't been able to grow any vegetables in months, and it's killing me because I haven't been able to grow on this property. It's just the situation we're in right now, but it's killing me. It's killing me. All right. And as soon as we decided we're doing this off-grid thing, I went and bought a ton of seeds. I went and stocked up red Russian kale. If you don't like kale, get red Russian kale and eat the baby leaves. Harvest it when the leaves are little baby leaves, and throw that in as like a extra to your salad. All right. Because you need to learn how to grow food. This stuff's critical, And the days are getting closer that they are going to collapse the American dollar. They could collapse the grid. All these things are under attack. Our supply chain, our infrastructure. We could see a massive disaster, a massive leak, some kind of massive event that poisons everyone, all right, causes a massive ecological disaster. All these things are on the table right now, and they're pushing it every single day. And this is why my awareness is just very heightened. And this is why I haven't posted the past however many days now. I'm sorry about that, guys. I know you guys look for my videos every single day. I'm sorry about that. I dropped the ball, but we have been trying to figure out what we are going to do because we want to be more sustainable. We want to be off grid, and this isn't working. All right. Things are getting a lot worse, and we want to be in the middle of nowhere, completely off grid, completely no debt, nothing, no payments or anything like that. Everything we do, we are just building on our property as we go, because that's the situation we're in. The economic situation's bad. The geopolitical situation's bad. The domestic political situation's bad. All these things are escalating, and it's a boiling pot, and everyone can feel it. And you need to do what's best for your family, for your survival, because this is becoming mainstream now. It used to just be like, oh, these people getting prepared, these people prepping. All right, they're crazy, they're nuts. All right, those doomsday preppers. And it's like, all right, maybe they're like onto something. Maybe I'll like prepare a little bit. I'll like stock up a little. I'll have whatever. I'll have a bag of rice or something. But now it's getting to the point where it's like everyone can feel it. This is mainstream. I'm seeing it everywhere. Everyone is talking about these events and these topics that are happening because they're so in our face now. This is they're revealing to us what they've been doing all along. This has been happening for decades, but now we can see it. Now the mask has been pulled off because it is happening so quickly, but it's also dangerous. When things are revealed, when criminals are revealed, they act very dangerous and very rapidly, and they act even bigger to cover up their previous crimes. They commit even bigger crimes, and even bigger events happen to cover up what happened in the past. All right. Oh, there's a massive banking crisis. Something bigger needs to happen to cover it up. All right. This is the level and the territory we are entering. And the only place to go that are bigger are massive things, massive cyber attacks, massive banking collapses, societal collapse. All these things are in the cards right now, and everyone can just feel it. It's like a tinderbox, and it's just waiting to be sparked. So make sure you guys are getting prepared. Make sure you have all of your preps ready. Make sure you're going through, making sure these things aren't old. All right. A lot of our food that we bought a couple years ago, it's already getting old because a lot of those cans in this weird phase that we were in last year, a lot of the cans and stuff that we were eating were old. They were already years old, and they were being put on the shelves. So a lot of your preps might be old too now. So make sure you're going through, you're checking all these things, and you're getting prepared for what's coming next, because everyone can feel it. And I will keep you updated on what we are doing. We are going to go off grid. We are going to build these projects. All right. I'm still going to bring you the news, but I'm going to bring you the news and just keep you updated on my projects as well, and show you what's going on as well, to get you inspired to get off grid, to get chickens, to grow food, because this is critical, and we're entering a new phase where they are accelerating all of these attacks. And we don't have that year's worth of storage of canned foods. We don't have all the reserves that we had last year. We burned through all our reserves to get through last year. So this year is going to be a lot worse, a lot harder. And that's what all the top experts are warning. Even Biden warned just a few days ago, I made a video about it, that the banking crisis is going to get a lot worse, and it's not over yet. So make sure you guys are getting prepared. Make sure you are out of the cities. Make sure you are becoming more sustainable and working on these skills, working on how to grow food, working on animal husbandry, working on self-defense, working on awareness, situational awareness, working on communication skills. All these things are critical and important and are going to be important when it hits the fan as well. So thank you guys so much. I'm super blessed to have you guys watching. Please hit that like for me. Please hit that sub down below for me too. Hit those comments up. Tell me if you live off grid. Tell me where the best place to live off grid. We are looking at a few states right now. I will keep you guys updated on what we are doing, where we are going, and all that. But I want to know what you guys think too, because you guys, I know a lot of you are off grid. I know a lot of you are in RVs, all this stuff. So let me know what you're doing too. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.